It's day 325.
of the 29th year and beyond. So yesterday we talked about breaking the cycles of different things, and so I really wanted to revisit that again today.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I remember we were really intentional about was trying to break the cycle of, how our parents,
Some of the things that they may have done.
how they raised us. Not saying that it was negative or, whether it was good or bad, but just breaking that for our own children, creating our own new normal, our own life.
Well, if my dad was living, he would be 92. And so, when you think about that era, because growing up now, this was somewhat of a benefit. I have 4 sisters and 2 brothers. And my dad was of the mindset that he had a clear distinction about things that women did and that men did. And so, we didn't have to wash dishes because in my dad's mind, that's what a woman does. And having 4 older sisters, they did not like this at all, because they didn't think that was an equal distribution of work. And they would always make the argument, because we had cousins that lived around the corner.
Right.
Randy and Bernard have to wash dishes. I'm not Randy and Bernard's father.
Right. Now, they didn't take out trash, or?
We had to take out the trash, but
and mow the lawn.
Was gonna say we had to cut grass, but we didn't do dishes. I mean, and this was back when I was growing up. This was back during the time of afros, right? And so, guys would get their hair braided so their afros could grow larger. No.
Not in your house.
Not in my house. My dad, that was, men didn't do that. So, there's some of those things, and whether you agree or disagree, at the time it was a benefit.
Now, did your dad go to PTA meetings or anything like that?
No.
Did your dad?
No, my dad. My dad was. He had incredible work ethic, and had a family of 7 to provide for in D.C. So my dad worked all the time. The only time he would take off work for anything would be graduations. But awards days and PTA meetings and plays and all that kind of stuff.
He take you to the movies?
He would drop us off at the movies.
Okay. Did he go to amusement parks?
Yeah, we would go to amusement parks, as a family. And I wouldn't say amusement park. We would go to, it wasn't an amusement park, come to think of it. We would go to Marshall Hall.
Oh, okay.
It's not a real amusement park. I guess
not
it was kind of
like
sort of. But not like, your King's Dominions and your Six Flags and all that. No. He wouldn't be taking us to Disney. No. Right.
And I say all that to say is because as parents and as a couple, there are things like Fred and I, we go on our individual vacation, just the 2 of us, and then we go on vacations with the kids. But we also have gone to amusement parks. We do PTA meetings, all that kind of stuff. My mom did all that. I say that to say that break the cycle of saying, I'm not doing this because my mom didn't do it. Or I'm not going to hug and kiss on my kids because I wasn't hugged and kissed on. I'm not going to be that person that sits down on the middle of the floor with my kids and read them books because my mom didn't read to me. Break the cycle.
Yeah.
Break the cycle.
Well, now see, of course, my dad loved us, but I could never recall my dad saying, I love you. So, and that's something that I say all the time to our kids and
at
very
25 and
affectionately.
18.
Absolutely. My dad, he was not like a touchy-feely kind of a guy and whatnot. I mean, and then, again, realizing the era that he was from, because that whole be strong, be silent, and stuff like that. I remember early when John was maybe about 3 years old, and he got hurt or whatever, and he started crying. And your dad said,
my dad.
Your dad said, stop crying, don't cry. And I was like, don't tell my son that.
That's right.
Because my thing was, I did not want my child to feel like he had to stifle. Kids get hurt, and it can be painful. And crying is just reality. It doesn't make you less of a man,
That's right.
But I just didn't want my child to feel like he had to stifle any of his emotions. I wanted him to be authentically who he was.
That's right. Allow yourself to be different. Allow yourself to step out. Just because, and if you're dealing with some hurts that are still surfacing, get some help. Go see someone. Because you should not put that off on your children or your spouse or anybody else. This will continue, but anyway, breaking the cycle.
Yeah, it looks like it will continue tomorrow if the Lord says the same.
Bye.